angry, Ozzy. 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 Angry, Ozzy. Ozzy. Angry.
All right. It is Thursday night. Oh, Redfoot left a message of peace and love. We like that. Peace and love. Had to go to bed though. But that's nice to leave the message in the head times. Well, okay. I think I will do the usual thing and make a short. For a second, I was about to berate myself and say, "Didn't bring in." I did. I actually did bring in the cameras. All right, let's get this shit ready. Madam Butterfly, hello there. Now thinking of the track Malcolm McLaren released under his name in the 80s, Madam Butterfly. I always say that, like, Malcolm McLaren never actually made any music. He was just a hype merchant, basically. Rain, how you doing? Hey, all my OS viewers are the first ones to say hi. Project Redfoot, Madam Butterfly, Rain. Internationale represent. All right, I have special homemade wines to experiment with later. Wait, you're going to put this here, is it? No, I won't. I'll put it over here. Home for the Elderly, local representation. He did release a track, Buffalo Girl. Most famous for the Sex Pistols as well. Oh, I'll tell stories, Rain. Yeah, there is an old traditional US song about Buffalo Girl. Won't you go out tonight? Go out tonight. Malcolm McLaren was such a charlatan and a con artist. I refuse to credit him with anyone. And maybe I'm being too harsh on him, but he deserves it. Okay, so my third, I'm going to make a quick video. Where's my Trello? It's here. The Merry Widow. I like the sound of this. Okay, dry gin. Da-da-da. There's a bit of this. Sweet vermouth. Benedictine. My Benedictine. And a little splash of absinthe. And Peychaud's bitters. Okay, ingredients. Let's get a mixing glass. I'm going to do the professional thing and chill my glass. Wait, how much is in this? 45 mils, 3 ounces. Maybe it's big enough to go in this coupe. I haven't used that for a little while, so hopefully it's not too big. everything ready. Right, let's go. $45 mils of dry gin. I don't have much of this one left. It's all good in the hood. Right. Let's get ready to go. Get all these bits ready. Get ready, 'cause here I come now. Should put my absinthe in a dasher bottle, actually. I actually have a dasher bottle. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put some of the blue absinthe in a dasher bottle. All right, let's freaking go. Wander over here to get my dasher bottle, because I'm a goddamn professional with fancy bar equipment, which I bought ages ago and I'm now using for the first time. Love that. Looks like a little potion in there. Bright blue. I have a habit of getting things, gadgets, but I think that's cool. I'll use that. And then I don't use it for like the longest time, sometimes not ever. It's a bad habit I have. One of my many bad habits. To quote Billy Field, I can't help myself. And it is a shame to see that a boy like me has got so many bad habits. Okay, that'll do. Let's start. Wait, what the fuck? Why did that do? What? No, you weren't at 40%. Why did you do that? What battery percent are you on? 75%. Don't you fucking dare power off at 75%. You fuck. Getting angry at my equipment. Gin. Sweetie vermouth. Benedictine. Dash of absinthe. Okay, that was very weird how that dasher bottle behaved. Dash of Peychaud's bitters. Okay. Okay, let's. I just thought of an angle for this. It's a New Orleans martini. Okay, put the ice in the mixing glass. Drink it all up. You want a bit more ice in there. All right. Und finally, we're starting part of the cocktail. There we go. Okay. Seems like it might be good. Let's see. All right. Oh, I should have done a cherry. This one's perfect for a cherry. Where's the cherry jar? Ah! Let's stab a motherfucking cherry. Oh, I need to drain some of the syrup out of this. Got one. All right. Dropped a big goop of cherry syrup on the bar just to make things sticky and messy. All right. Okay, turning this on. This is just a short, so theoretically, the talking bit should be done in 2 minutes. We'll see how I go and if I fall over my words. But we love it when I do that, don't we? Yeah, we do. And get the swears. G'day, cocktail lovers. This cocktail is called a Merry Widow. And honestly, it's kind of like a martini visited New Orleans, and so I like the vibe here. I want to be more like my cousins, the Vieux Carré, the Sazerac, the De La Louisiane, and picked up some of the local color. You'll see what I mean when I explain the ingredients to you, but I am going to taste it first. Throw my cherry in there and oh, yeah, this is really giving me an New Orleans vibe. I'll show you how to make it. In a mixing glass, put 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of dry gin, then 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of sweet vermouth. Add to that 1/3 of an ounce, around 10 mils of Benedictine, then just 1 dash of absinthe and 1 dash of Peychaud's bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain that into a chilled coupe, and I'm garnishing that with a maraschino cherry on a skewer. This is a very interesting drink. The gin makes it lighter than a lot of New Orleans cocktails, but you've got the vermouth, the Benedictine, the absinthe, the Peychaud's bitters. It's really in that vibe, and that's among my favorite cocktails, the New Orleans ones. So I think this is a winner. I think you might too. So give it a try. The Merry Widow. Cheers. All right, I think that's maybe the only video I'm going to record tonight. Otherwise, I'm doing taste tests. We got a workshop. The old-fashioned Despacito. All right. Sit and Dune, what you all been up to? Madam Butterfly, you could have performed dental surgery. Look, it's all about precision. Also, you're terrifying me with the idea that you think fast dental surgery is somehow good. Call me crazy. I kind of like dentists to take a bit more time and care. But you be you, Madam Butterfly. Anyway, have a proper taste of this. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Man, I might even experiment with that a bit. But that is a good one. Oh, yeah, I like that. Well, that's at least an 8 out of 10. That might be on my short list for cocktails to revisit when I'm doing an end of year. I should have put some orange peel in this, actually. Not so much for the video, but just because I like orange peel. Come on, you fucker. Oh, my God. Fucking shitty oranges with no good peel. Go in there. Try another one. Okay, that's a bit better. Where's my trimming knife? Trim some pith off this. Hey, I ain't so Trump. Yeah, well, I tell you what, though, the most unsettling thing at the moment is probably Musk and his weird little minions getting access to everyone's private information and apparently influence over the US budget, which is like, wow, all-time bad idea. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen there? Safa, you're over summer. We're getting more hot weather next week. Oh, yeah, the whole Palestine is a fucking holiday resort. Jesus Christ, the guy is just not connected to reality. Yes, we can choose not to. Yeah, what's summer like for you, Home for the Elderly? Because you've been getting such brutal summers compared to us for the last 4 years, and we're getting an actual proper summer first time in 5 years. 33 at 9 a.m. Damn. I didn't quite get that hot, but I think next week they're predicting 36, not at 9 a.m., but let me see, because the predictions keep bouncing all over the place. What are they predicting? So, a couple of days of respite, in fact, quite a bit of respite. Next couple of days, 26, 25, 26, 28. Then they're saying 32, 36, 30. And maybe some rain at the end of the week. But it's a bit volatile. That could all change. Look, I got these neat things from the shed. Back at it again with the melting vans. Yeah, you stand on ground that's too hot, melt your shoes. Damn, Daniel. You can jump in and out, Safa. That's fine. Look, I decided to get some of Mrs. Angry's wines that she made more than 30 years ago out of the shed. This is a lemon verbena in a strong wine, beetroot in a strong wine, and these funky labels she made for them as well. I'm going to compare these to vermouths and sherry to work out what cocktails to use them in. This wine, being strong but in no way dangerous, must be used gently or there will be some regret. Under the dominion of Mercury, magical powers of love, healing virtues, eases painful and windy swellings, very profitable to the stomach. Lemon verbena, lemon, grape, sugar, yeast. I think this is special reserve at the top. I have not tasted this yet. I'm going to taste it next to some vermouths to try and place it. And this one, beetroot. Under the dominion of Saturn, magical power, love, healing virtues, cureth the toothache, purgeth the head, stays the bloody flux. This has got beetroot, banana, lemon, ginger, cloves, sugar, yeast. And yeah, she made these labels and then, photocopied them, just shares them with friends. But I'm going to see what I can use those in. Isn't it a great description She's very clever. And fucking mead. I thought she'd only had one bottle of mead, and I used it over about a period of a year. And then when I was looking at some of these boxes that we uncovered, and there was like half a dozen bottles of mead. And Mrs. Angry was just doing a taste test. I haven't tasted them yet. She reckons the two wines taste like sherry because they're stronger than the average wine. And then she tasted the mead and was just like, oh my God, and put some more in her glass. And yeah. So I'm definitely going to make a video with those wines, but I think tonight I might literally just do the taste test, get a vibe of what to do with them. This is really good, though. I think I have to make a note when I post this to YouTube. That's on my short list for favorite cocktails of the year. That is really nice. And the absinthe and Peychaud's bitters just give it a real vibe. So we shall see. And of course, I got to try another variation. In fact, I might do 2 mini Despositos. One with Blanco tequila and one with Añejo tequila, and see if I can tell any difference between the two. Oh, yeah, that was genuinely good. Yum. Can't stop talking about that drink. It's a good one. Or, sorry, what drink you can't stop talking about? Just the Desposito? Because, yeah, I haven't made the I want to make the video for the old-fashioned Desposito tomorrow night. So I have to settle on, I mean, I think the thing was as simple as use aromatic and chocolate bitters. Funny thing, now Trump's in charge, going to be hard introducing Desposito. It is a huge hit. I mean, how many million views does it have on YouTube? Let's have a look, just for fun. Let's see. Despacito. 8.6 billion views. Billion with a B. 8.6 billion views of Despacito. Good Lord. That is a lot. That is a lot of views. Pee-Pee Shark took over. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you clarified that, Safa. I said, I'm pretty sure they're not doing the Super Bowl. But yes, an NFL game in Melbourne. Much as, we sent over had Australian rules and rugby league games in Vegas. And it's not being viewed by 8 billion people, but it's being viewed by about 1 billion people multiple times. All right. You know what? I'm going to taste test these wines before I taste test the Desposito. Baby Shark's 15 billion. Good fucking God. That's because parents just put it on loop for their kids. Because kids just want the same shit over and over. If that had been YouTube and Baby Shark had been a thing when my kids were little, they would have done that. All right. Tasting glasses. Let's do this. Okay, so lemon verbena. Because it's homemade, it tends to collect a bit of sediment. So you've got to be careful not to agitate it when you pick it up. All right. Taste these side by side, see what I think. Okay. Lemon verbena wine. Yeah, it just kind of smells like wine or vermouth. Okay. I get what Mrs. Angry was saying. Tastes like sherry. Definitely tastes like sherry. And the beetroot wine. That tastes a bit more like sweet vermouth. I need to do a bit more comparing. Sweet vermouth. Breaking out all my little glasses. Dry vermouth. And for completeness, I have sherry in this cask. So I gotta get a little bit of sherry. Oloroso sherry. Okay. All right. Big scientific taste test. Okay, so sweet vermouth. It's definitely sweeter. Is that more like sherry? Sweeter than Oloroso sherry. Yeah, sweet vermouth is very sweet. It's just got a little not unpleasant bitterness on the end. Okay, so dry vermouth, it's not dry. Those are sweet. Those are kind of like sherry. Yeah, that Oloroso sherry has an aftertaste I don't like. Lemon verbena. Beetroot. I think the beetroot works as a sweet vermouth, actually. I think tomorrow night I'll make a video with those and I'll make a Manhattan. Put this back in here. Ooh. All right. Everything put away. Put the bitters down here. Ooh, you know what? I want to, before making the Despacito, I think I want to have mineral water, actually. If you had your own public bar, people have to sign a liability waiver for having your drinks. They have medical stuff. Nice. Can anyone share the link on Discord? Sorry, what did I miss about? What are you doing there? Oh, it's in Jukebox. Okay, there you go. You've done it. Oh yeah, freaking love new bottles of stuff, man. Tim the Tool Man Taylor when he gets new power tool. That's me. You put a carriage on a screwdriver. Oh dear. So what's in Jukebox? Oh, Buffalo Gals. Yeah, okay. And Despacito. Oh, yeah, I definitely. Where's my mineral water? Is right here. Ugh. Let's just enjoy some mineral water. No, I forgot to bring the syrup out. I have to go to the fridge and get the Pasito syrup. I don't know that one, Opera House. Ugh. That's the whole thing. I did see that thing, Opera House. Who's that? Who's the artist that did Opera House? I don't recognize that at all. Oh. No, I don't hate Malcolm. I'm just saying that he gets credit for things that I think he's probably overly critical, like the Sex Pistols. And I loved those tracks. I loved Buffalo Gals. Double Dutch less so. I kind of liked his version, Madame Butterfly. Oh God, I remember I went through a phase of really being into mashups, and I'd find, oh God, my bandwidth just went to shit. We might have a low frame rate or pixel count at the moment. Oh, so Opera House. I don't even know that. I don't even know that track. I'll have to watch it tomorrow. Okay, I think I got the bandwidth back. That was some weird temporary thing. Oh, okay. That's a good palate cleanser. Frame rate is fine and the res dropped. It should come back to normal. Because I do get a warning when the bandwidth goes to shit. And I'm going like, oh God, what's causing that? I don't know. Just have to wait for it to come good. It says it's come good now. So, hopefully. We shall see. Oof. Well, I should have some of the mead too, because Mrs. Angry seemed to really like the mead. I think the wines are quite good. Just like Bingo Boy, show me how to dance. Sucker DJ, I remember. I listened to Take 40 when my young'uns were growing up in the noughties. Saturday mornings, like I think this is like us having like cable TV, the music video shows on Saturday mornings. There'd be like cartoons and music video shows on Saturday mornings. They'd be really into that. But yeah, it's kind of like I went to get broadband. It's like, oh, the get Foxtel. It's like had 6 kids channels, and I was going, that'll keep the little bastards quiet for a while. So I basically got Foxtel for 2 reasons, because they had 6 kids channels and they had Comedy Central. I could watch The Daily Show, which they don't have anymore. But I can watch clips of that on YouTube, which is what I used to do in the early days of YouTube before I had Foxtel. Watch clips of The Daily Show on YouTube. I mean, I think I got everything because it was like I keep meaning to go and check what my package is because I'm probably paying too much for shit I never work. Oh yeah, no, it absolutely would keep them amused for yonks. Like before we had that, at the first 2 seasons of Pokemon on VHS, they would just play that shit non-stop. Hey, Celtic, how are you doing? I have to admit, 9 out of 10 Daily Show clips I watch are Jon Stewart ones. I do watch some of the other ones if I think they're covering a story that I find interesting or could be humorous. But for commentary, I do enjoy Jon Stewart's comedies, like Pure Gen X, although Stewart's older, so he's a boomer. But hospital visit. Is it time for hospital stories? Because I got hospital stories. Yeah, I had been catching up on John Oliver on YouTube as well. He posts the shows to YouTube a couple of weeks or maybe a month after they first are released. Then they put them on YouTube. I do really enjoy John Oliver's show. Just the degree of research they do those extended takes on stuff, which I really like. Cartoon rots your brains. Look how you turned out. Well, you and me both, Madam Butterfly. That's all I got to say on the topic. So, yeah, I do like the depth they go into, and also the regular jokes John Oliver makes about how he's subjecting you to this horrible, depressing shit on their comedy show. Celtic, yeah, he wants the hospital stories. Okay, so I had to go to hospital. My son woke up sick, and it's basically when your 24-year-old calls you going, can you take me to the doctor? You go, oh, they must be sick. And he was worried it might have been appendicitis. Like he felt, he wasn't actually throwing up, but he kept thinking he would, and it was really painful. So it could have been appendicitis. So we went to one of these critical care facilities. It's like, it's set up to stop people going to the hospital emergency room. And it's a pretty fucking good deal. We went there and there was someone there who obviously had some bad respiratory illness, whether it was COVID or just a cold or one of the other respiratory illnesses that's going around. I was very pleased they shunted her off into a side room. I was kind of worried we would get sick. We didn't. But anyway, the doctor at that place went, yeah, I don't actually know what it is. I can't tell. But there's a couple of things it could be that are bad. It's probably not, but it could be. Hello, Dr. Abigail. How are you doing? So he said, you should go to hospital emergency. And I was going, great. We should have just gone to hospital emergency straight away. Anyway, we go there. It's still relatively early. It's before lunchtime. And didn't fucking leave for 8 hours. And I do not like people who harass or talk shit about health professionals, particularly not people working in hospitals and emergency. But they did fuck up. They fucked up. It took them 7 hours to say the results of a blood test, which is ridiculous. You had crazy days, but doing well. Well, I'm glad that you are. Not glad you had crazy days, but glad you're doing well. So they did fuck up, making us wait 7 hours for the results of a blood test that should have taken 1 hour and never telling us. It's like, oh, it should be like an hour, half an hour. And like, could have just fucking left and waited for them to crazy good days. Oh, that's even better. So, who shows up at casualty? Well, people who really need to be there usually arrive by ambulance, like, people who are bleeding or have broken bones or, very seriously ill, they normally arrive in an ambulance. But people who rock in themselves are people who have something wrong, but they don't have the money to go to a doctor's office. We went there because it's like, well, I can't get a doctor's appointment on a Sunday with no notice. So we went to emergency. There were colorful characters with, how shall I put this, varying degrees of personal hygiene. I mean, honestly, I'm making a joke out of it. Probably the worst. Some people had a bit of BO. I mean, who doesn't from time to time? No one was really gross. I'm sort of exaggerating there, but yeah, good thing. And yeah, some colorful types. I saw this one woman, and I feel like she was putting on a brave face for the people who took her there. And because when they went to leave, they go, "You sure you're all right? Call us through." And she's sitting there going, yeah. And as soon as they left for the next many hours, because she was there about as long as us, she just spent the entire time doubled over on a chair, obviously in terrible distress. That wasn't great. Probably my favorite guy all day. I missed the start of it, which I'm really disappointed in. But it turns out this guy's coming in. And I don't know about you, but when I'm in a public place, I tend not to talk in a booming voice, particularly if it's not that loud there. I tend to not talk in a booming voice because then everyone hears what I'm talking about. This guy, his voice just carried everywhere. And he's going back to the reception area, the nurses who do triage, and he's just saying stuff about a taxi and a woman who pretended to be a doctor and stuck a thing on his hand and then left it in a taxi. I'm thinking, that's odd. What's going on there? And then a taxi driver came in, not particularly happy, and he's going, "See, here's the guy." And he just kept repeating this story. Well, it's not my fault. I came out and this woman pretended to be a doctor and stuck this thing on my hand and said, "Come on, we're going to another hospital. Get in a taxi." And because he kept repeating the story, and the taxi driver was pretty miffed. He had a pretty strong accent. It was difficult to pick up more than half what he said. But what I pieced together was this guy who would later say to the nurse he was basically trying to get someone in the hospital to take care of him, even though he wasn't in crisis. He's saying I'm schizophrenic, and which he said really calmly. So he's obviously not in crisis. But yeah, what turned out apparently to be the case, he'd come out from seeing someone and was back in the reception area. And then this other woman who also was there with mental health issues. Again, if he's to be believed, and I don't know, if he's to be believed, she came up to him, said she was a doctor, and he believed her. And I don't know, she put some sticker on his hand and said, "We're going to another hospital. Come on, get in a taxi." And so he got in a taxi with her, and they're telling the taxi where to go. And I don't know, they got to where the woman wanted to go, and she jumped out, the taxi stopped. She jumped out and ran away. And this other guy's sitting there going, "Fuck was that?" And the taxi driver goes, "Don't you go anywhere. You have to pay for the ride." And he's going, "I don't have any money. She was a doctor. It's the hospital. The hospital said to do this." And the taxi driver's going, "This is bullshit." And the guy's going, "Yeah, it's bullshit. What the hell happens?" And yeah, so then the taxi driver took him back to the original hospital, St. Vincent's. And this guy's telling the story. And then the taxi driver comes in. The taxi driver's saying someone has to pay for the fare. And the guy's going, "Yeah, well, I can't. It's not my fault. This is the hospital's fault. This woman said she was a doctor and came in." What I ended up guessing had happened, this woman did convince him to get in a cab and then did a runner. And he's like, "I can't fucking pay for this." And when the taxi driver got angry, he said, "Well, she was a doctor. Go back to the hospital and they'll pay for it." And then he gets to the hospital and he's like, "Bag's not me." And the taxi driver kept saying to the hospital, like, you got to pay. And the hospital's going, we're not going to pay. And you say, you got to pay. And then we're not going to pay. And security ended up coming. And I thought it might be a whole scene. But the security guy relatively calmly, but very directly said, no one's going to pay you. You have to file a police report. And this guy had a real aversion to the idea of calling the cops. And yet the patient's going, yeah, man, tell the cops. And so I don't know if it was a cultural thing or if he personally had bad experiences with cop, but he was really not into the idea of getting the cops involved. And the hospital are just saying, you're going to have to, because we're not going to give you shit. And there's a whole thing where someone states the bleeding obvious. The woman that our dude is saying he thought was a doctor, they're going, that wasn't a doctor, that was another patient. And the hospital's not liable because this was nothing to do with the hospital. And the guy's going, oh, you're going to pay me. And they're going, look, if you file a police report, we actually have that other person's details. We can't give it to you. We're not going to give it to you. But if the police request it, we'll give it to them. So you need to go and file a police report. Cabby, again, I'm going to expose my ignorance. African, very dark-skinned guy with a very thick accent. I do not know regional African accents well enough to say anything apart from he was African. So yeah, the cabbie eventually went away. I don't know if he just gave up or if he did go to do a police report. But our man, who declared he had schizophrenia, was just hanging around for he had bags, like he was mobile. He had all his possessions in about 3 big bits of luggage. And he's going, oh, I have to go, can I leave this here? And at one point he was saying something about going to a crisis center in St Kilda. And can I just leave this here while I go there? And then he comes back and says, I don't want to go there because everyone there's on drugs and I need to not be around people with drugs because, I'll make bad choices. And they're like, we can't do anything for you. And yeah, it got to the stage where he clearly, and the interesting thing to me was he was really calm, quite persistent. He clearly wanted like the hospital to give him a bed, essentially. And genuinely, he seemed like he was trying to do the right thing as much as he was capable of. Like, I don't want to be in a place where people will have drugs. I think I need medical care. I want you to give me a bed. And the hospital's like, well, we're not. Again, because you're not a critical care case. Yeah, it's kind of like he wanted someone to take care of him. And the system is just such there was no one to take care of him, which sucks. Kind of reminded me of there's a 90s movie that had Tupac and Tim Roth, the British actor, in it. And they play a couple of friends who are heroin addicts, and they make the decision this day, we're getting off the gear, we're going clean, we need to get into rehab. And they keep visiting various hospitals and whatnot, and the system just can't help them. The system's overwhelmed. And there's like these 2 guys who are trying to do the right thing. It's like, we're fucking ourselves up. We need to stop fucking ourselves up. We need some sort of rehab. And the system just doesn't help them. But everyone in the system is stressed and overworked and under-resourced. But that's what it made me think of. I have no idea about the place with the fire in St Kilda. He didn't mention a name of a place, and I don't know the name of the place. There's lots of crisis places in St Kilda. Hey, Shay, how are you doing? I am doing fine. I'm just sharing colourful stories from my 8 hours wasting time in hospital emergency room. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I'm glad that what they said about my son was it's nothing. It's probably just gastro, maybe food poisoning. So it's none of the bad things we were worried about. It just kind of pissed me off that it took them 10 times longer to show. That's it, Gridlocked. That's the Tupac Tim Roth movie. Oh, it's a pretty good movie. Actually, speaking of movies, do you have Nosferatu? Celtic, it wouldn't be a night without you complimenting a threat, and I thank you. So this is a somewhat abstract, although not all that abstract, because you get cocktail shake stuff and little jiggers. But this style, this kind of 50s, 60s, almost space type abstraction style, that's like the first shirts I got were in this style. And then I realized they had them in cocktails. Oh, okay. Well, if you do. Everyone's talking about it. And I don't really know, though. Just, Willem Dafoe's doing his usual crazy thing in it, apparently. I mean that in a good way. Ugh. Yes, but I was just thinking, and I saw that Nosferatu was, available in digital now, and I was like, oh, maybe Home for the Elderly's got it. Food poisoning is shite. And at least he just felt bad. He didn't throw up and shoot himself. Damn. KFC gave me food poisoning once. They were doing a version of a Parma, like with ham and cheese under the breading, which sounded great, but it made me so sick. Oh God, this was back in the 90s, because I remember I was on IRC chatting, and so I got the KFC, munch, and about within 15 minutes of eating this KFC, I'm typing away in the chat, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. And I'm just running to the toilet and just hurling and then shitting profusely. But it actually all went out of my system in about probably less than half an hour, actually. Earth, glad you didn't wait that long in emergency. Once your specialist came, took you before the triage nurse finishes the questions. Yeah, there's swings and roundabouts there, obviously. I feel this week picking up the ones should have watched in 2024. Does Nosferatu fall under that? We once slipped on a mall staircase, blacked out. Parents made you go ER to check your head out 8 hours before you're admitted. Oh God, that's like when I got hit in the head with a discus. It was hours before I got looked at. The Shadow Strays, A Real Pain, Love Lies Bleeding, A Different Man, Trap, and Honora. Oh yeah, tell me if any of them are good. How many times have I had food poisoning? Ooh. I mean, I've probably had at least mild food poisoning half a dozen times. Oh, what time did I go home? I got home, it was like 8:30 p.m. We left the house at 10 a.m. Went and got my lads like half an hour away. The first hour was in this place that's the alternative to going to emergency. And then, like 8 fucking hours in emergency, 7, 8 hours. You're struggling to breathe, body fluid cut. Oh. Yeah, that's why they see you straight away, man. Damn. Right, every time you've been ice skating, you've ended up in the ER 2 times with an ambulance. Holy shit, yeah, you'd be broke if you were in the US. Yeah, I got home at about 8:30 Sunday night after leaving the house at 10 a.m. Fucking shit, man. And I was all out of sorts on Monday. I almost called in sick on Monday. I was going like, what do I got on? And I thought, oh, okay. 4 meetings, 2 of them are useless if I'm not there, I guess. But I stayed at home. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the one big plus of this day bar is it didn't cost anything. Madam Buffet, your mum had food poisoning years ago from Chinese. Took 4 days. I think I've had it from Chinese takeaway too. Now that I think of it. I'll tell you what, my other favorite story. There's this guy. At one point, we're sitting down. I'm sitting with Mrs. Andrews with me because we'd actually dropped off her son at his dad's place on the way. Didn't think that we'd be going on this long. So there was this guy, and he's not a bad guy, but it's just like, I don't want your vibe, man. He's very scruffy. He may have been sleeping rough, but he's also the type who wanders around muttering and swearing. And when Mrs. Angry was out, she'd gone to the canteen to get something. And while she was out, this guy came in and slumped a couple of chairs away from me, but he was slouching around. So he was slouching all over where Mrs. Angry would sit. I thought, okay, don't want this bullshit. And so my excuse, I just said to my son, like, hey, let's sit over there so we can see the TV. And also Mrs. Angry would see us when she came back. And she came back and no wonder what we were doing. I said, oh, I'm watching the TV. And I went, that guy, I don't really like to look at that guy. And this guy he never did anything to fuck with anyone, but, just an off vibe. And he was agitated, but not violent. He couldn't stay still. He'd sit somewhere and mutter and blurble for a while, then stand up and walk around. He's carrying this bag around with him, paper shopping bag, walk around and sit somewhere else, blurble, 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 before then get up and walk around. And I noticed there was like a hole in the bag. I didn't know what was in it. And after some hours, because we were all there some hours, I realized he was trailing fluid that looked a lot like blood. And I go, okay, I think that's a food or food-like item in his bag, although I'm not 100% sure he might be bleeding. But I realized he was tracking it everywhere because he wouldn't stay still. And I thought, and then I saw him move again, trailing. Okay, it is coming from the bag, which is mildly relieving. And yeah, this nurse who came out at one point, I was trying to attract her attention and say, like, your man's trailing gross goop everywhere. And I couldn't catch her eye. But then she saw this on the ground. And of course, she was worried it was blood. And so she's got a towel and she's mopping it up. And she's on the phone to someone, like, wanting a cleanup squad. Because, yeah, apparently the protocol is if it's human blood, they do this full-on thing with bleach and whatnot. Mrs. Angry works in health. She knows this. But my favorite bit of this is, like, before we had managed to get her attention and say, it's that guy, something's leaking out of his bag. There was a big glob of this blood-like fluid. And she wipes it up with a towel, and then she's moving along. Oh, there's some more over there. And while she's over there, the guy walks behind her and leaves more of this blood trail where she's already cleaned. So she goes over and cleans this other bit, and she turns her, and there's blood where she just was. And I don't know, it was genuinely funny. It was almost like a Buster Keaton silent movie double take. She was like, what? And she's like, and you could just see the cogs turning in her head because the guy wasn't there. There was no obvious reason for this blood to be there. She cleaned it up, went a few paces over here, more blood, and she turns around and there's more blood where she just cleaned. And she's like, ooh. And that's when we went, it's him, that guy who keeps walking. And at this point, he's put the bag on a seat and there's just a fucking pool. And of course, it's meat. It's red meat. And she's going, oh, what's wrong? And he was genuinely apologetic. Like I said, I was possibly being too harsh on him, but it was just like, it was just a vibe I wanted nothing to do with. And he was like genuinely apologetic, like, oh, am I? oh, I'm so sorry. He's like, what's in the bag? And then she looks at his bag and the bottom's rotting away because of this wetness. And he lifts it up and it's like steaks. He's got a couple of things of steaks, like an expensive amount of steak. I'm not that big a steak thing, but I was thinking that was like $50 worth of steak he's got in there. And the supposedly sealed thing it's in is leaking. And she was saying like, well, you're going to throw that bag in the bin. And he's going like, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, red meat. It's fine. I was going like, dude, I do not know how many hours you've had that out of refrigeration, but it's not sealed. I mean, at least it was air conditioned in there pleasantly because it was hot as fuck outside. Really was. But it was pleasantly air conditioned. And I was just like, yeah, he's not going to listen because that's an expensive amount of meat and he's going to keep it and he's going to take it home and possibly giving himself food poisoning. Yeah, that was probably the most lighthearted thing. The guy with the taxi and the woman who pretended to be a doctor and stuck something, he was the most interesting. That was the most interesting character of the day. But the bit with the nurse doing the double take with the blood on the floor, that was probably the funniest. Yeah, maybe he traded it for ice. He could have. Yeah, but there were other people, you know, and you see each other, they're all in there for hours and hours waiting. That's the whole thing. There was this lovely old Aboriginal lady there with her son who had a huge booming voice, like when he's trying to get his mum's attention, he's just going, Mom, Mom. Like his voice really carried. And I think I heard them say their name was Briggs, and I wanted to go, oh, are you from Shepparton? Because my favorite rapper's from Shepparton, Adam Briggs. Is he your cousin? To which they would have said, yeah, his cousin. It's everyone's cousin. No one was actually aggressive. There were colorful characters, but no one was aggressive. Although not what I see. Like, young Mr. Angry did get taken out of the back. He actually spent 5 hours lying in a bed waiting to get results of a blood test. And he said there were a couple of people on beds who had security or cops standing next to them. And we did definitely hear some angry shouting from behind the door where the beds were. So I think there were aggressive people getting treatment, but we didn't see them out in the waiting room. But yeah, what was weird is it didn't really seem like I sat around doing nothing for 8 hours. Certainly felt like I sat around doing nothing for several hours. Also, I hadn't had my phone charged when we went out. So by the time we got to the emergency ward, I only had about 20% on my phone. And so I couldn't play any games, watch any videos, even be on social media on my phone. I just sit there and watch ridiculous fucking bullshit Sunday commercial TV, which was a bike race out on the Great Ocean Road. Rain, you had a blood trail moment. You were drunk once, swimming in the sea, 50 meters from your house, walked back, stepped on shattered glass, was walking around the house. Oh, damn. You didn't realize you'd cut yourself. Damn. There was one guy, and he had a blood trail on his leg, but it's like he wasn't bleeding anymore. Yeah. As actually, you know, the one bit I liked of the bike race is occasionally there would be a helicopter shot of either a big clump of the bikes or strung out in a line. And there was something about the visual of this top-down shot of the bikes I just thought was really artistic. Rain, you noticed, woke up your parents. Who was that? And they were oblivious to what it was. God damn. Wore your brown T-shirt in Hospital Rockhampton once. Learned it looked like Queensland prison shirt. Even walked freely past prison officers and prisoners. Your shirt looked just like theirs. So you don't wear that shirt out anymore. Okay, fair enough. Okay, you were trying to work out where the blood came from, but then you finally noticed the bloody footsteps were following you. Oh my god. Oh yeah, there's the whole thing about the cyclists holding formation in road races, and it just looked really fucking cool from overhead shots. There was something really abstract about it. That's what happens when you're drunk, man. It takes you a while to put things together. Okay. What did I have for dinner? Okay, I repurposed. Remember me talking about the chicken burritos I made the other night? I had the leftover chicken, mushroom, onion stuff that is really yummy. So I made some pasta with a cheese sauce, heated up the chicken stuff. That's on the bottom. Pasta and cheese sauce on the top. Bake that. Fucking yum. FW, finally understood why the cops were looking at you strange. Because you were wearing a prison shirt. Oh, damn. You got 24 overnight. Frick. Yeah. Oh, Sunday night. Yeah, shit. You're asking about rain, Safa. Rain, hail, thunder, lightning is full on. It was actually really difficult to sleep. Where did I buy this? Oh, you're talking to FW? I think it's just a t-shirt he was wearing. If you're asking me, this is one of my standard sort of Chinese warehouse things that sell online. Funniest part, walked into the cop shop with that shirt, asking about applying for a gun license. Yeah, just a Target shirt. Nice. All right. And for the elderly, going to I've had a pause in the alcohol. I'm going to do a Despacito taste off. Good. Okay. So I think the big difference is doing Angostura bitters and chocolate bitters. So I'm not sure if the chili is overkill. So if I do tequila, mezcal, orange gin, pasito syrup, and the bitters, if it also has chili, is that too much? Or should I just try it? I don't know. Did I lose internet on Sunday night? Not that I saw, but when I turned on the PlayStation on Monday, it like is going, you shut off power without shutting down the thing. So I think the house lost power at some point on Sunday when we weren't home. Okay, chili it is. Okay, so I'm going to make two mini ones. One with Blanco tequila and one with Añejo tequila. And see what they're like. Okay, these glasses. Let's go. Oh man, I've got so much stuff to put in the dishwasher tomorrow. Okay, and we'll do it in the mixing glass. Okay, so I have to go out and get the pasito syrup. I forgot to, but chili. Chili. Blanco tequila. Añejo tequila. And Peloton de la Muerte. Okay, I just got to quickly go out and get the Pasito syrup, which I forgot to bring out. Okay. The Pasito syrup goes quite thick in the fridge. Room temperature, it's not quite so thick. But let's make this. Okay. Little bit of Pasito syrup. Enough. It's a really tart passion fruit flavor, which is good for our purposes. It's also got a little bit of a burnt vibe from, and not in a bad way, but a burnt vibe from being reduced in the saucepan. There's cow. Oops, I'm forgetting the orange gin. Orange gin. Did I put I didn't put the tequila in. Okay. I'm second guessing myself. I don't think I put the tequila in. Chat, tell me, because I was saying stuff out loud. Did I say in goes the tequila? Because I don't think I did, but I'm second guessing myself. So you were all watching. Did I say chili? I did not say tequila. I did not say tequila. Okay, thank you, Dr. Abigail. First one in, thank you. All right. Tequila. All right, so this is the Blanco tequila. Almost forgot the important touch, the bitters, because that made all the difference. Okay, bitters. Not black walnut, although that's not bad. Chocolate mole. Okay. Chocolate mole bitters. And aromatic bitters. All right. And we go stir, stir, stir. Ooh, that little bit of chili, honestly. Okay. Blanco tequila. And now I'm going to add a little bit more ice. Oh, that's all the ice. So let's do it again. The Pasito syrup. Put that in. The chili liqueur. Yes, and the Ancho Reyes chili liqueur is Mexican, so it's fitting in with the whole Spanish language thing. All right. So orange gin for the slow. But I had some weirdo comment on the videos, like saying Despacito doesn't mean slowly. It means orphan, and they're like, well, first I think you're kind of missing the joke about the pasito, but also, no, you're wrong. I looked it up, and so I don't know what your fucking story is, Jack, but I ain't wasting time on you. And the bitters. Okay. Und now we will decide which one's best, or if I can even tell the difference. Counting. Yeah, it's probably enough. Right, use one nothing now. Ooh, and they look about the same, so I have to not forget which is which. Okay, so now the big check if this. Let's see if I can tell the difference between these two. Have I ever almost had to go to hospital from drinking too much? No. They couldn't wake you up after alcohol. Well, that's bad. Lukey, awake for a stream. How you doing? Okay, so this is old-fashioned Despacito made with Blanco tequila. I tell you what, that mix of smoke from the mezcal and the chili is really nice. This is like a fruity barbecue. And with the añejo. I'm going to kind of predict I can't tell the difference. Hey, Jude, how you doing? Reading between the lines on chat, get the impression. Not me. It was my son who was sick. Loogie, you got a new roommate. First night handed you a jar full of weed. Yeah, you can stay. Yeah. Do the drum roll. Which one's better? Okay, I'm just going to cleanse my mouth again. Okay, so Blanco tequila. That pasito syrup really is strong. Añejo. I am going to go with there is a subtle difference, and the añejo suits it a bit better. Because the añejo is barrel aged, so has a bit more character from that, and they do look like Barocca. I agree, Home for the Elderly. But now I'm going to put them together on ice. So, okay, I think that's made my decision. Make it with añejo tequila. Or, now I've mixed them together, does it taste even better? Yeah, so the pasito syrup is really dominating the taste and the color of it. But now they're mixed. What do I think of it now? You know what? Mixed might be better. I'm making a call. This is a fairly complicated drink now. A lot of components. It's going to have Blanco tequila, Añejo tequila, mezcal, orange gin, chili liqueur, and Pasito syrup. I'm actually only going to put a little bit of the Pasito syrup in because it's so dominating. And there's going to be sweetness from the orange gin and the chili liqueur. Yeah, just make 2 drinks, then mix them and make them 1 drink. But, you think that's what I should do for the video? That's a pretty good idea, actually. That's good content right there. Make them separately and then put them into 1 glass and go, oh no, they go better together. If you tried Korean plum wine at a Korean barbecue restaurant last night, what did you think of it? Because the various plum wines are very popular across East Asia. Japan, Korea, China. You're going to try and get an hour of sleep before getting up for work. Oh, good luck with that. Catch you later. Genuinely, I think the blend's better. You liked it? Nice. You drank half of it so you could bring the rest home. Fair enough. Huh. All right, I think the one thing I'm going to do different is only put a really small amount of the syrup in. Oh, he didn't have anything specific. Like he said, didn't eat anything out of the ordinary. There was nothing obvious. He just woke up feeling really sick. Oh, yes. No, I've seen those ones where the actual plums are in the drink. Umeshu. I've kind of been tempted to get one. Like they have them at Dan's. They're not hard to get. I've got some sake in there that I was gifted like a year ago and I still haven't opened it. I should look up some recipes for sake cocktails. Yeah. Yeah, like he said he didn't feel great the next day, but that possibly was because he hardly ate anything on Sundays. Like by the time we left, he was just going, oh my God, it's 20 hours since I've eaten anything. We caught up last night, had pizza and pasta dinner, family dinner. And he was like, yeah, fine, just like, bleh. So it wasn't necessarily food poisoning. It might have been it might have been a 24-hour sort of gastro bug. But they're just kind of like, well, it's nothing serious. It's either food poisoning or gastro. You're fine. I'm like, okay, he's fine. That's what's important. That's an interesting drink. It's not going to be my favorite drink. Oh, you posted a pic on the Discord. Let me see. Oh, yes. This is similar to the things I've seen. Well, I've seen quite a few, actually. So this is the plum wine that has the plums in the bottle. There's an apple one from the logo on the right. They have one in Dan's that's in a really tall cylinder, and there's plums in it. Ah, the apple cider was your daughter's. Nice. Yeah, it does look pretty good, doesn't it, Loogie? Oh, okay. Oof. Hope I don't get heartburn from this fucking chili. Because that Ancho Reyes liqueur does not muck about. There's fucking chili in that for sure. Chili for days. So yeah, I can feel the spice still tingling on my tongue from the chili liqueur. Oh, that's so cute. 2-year-old Oswin, kitten Oswin, discovered likes being a lap cat. That's very cute. Oh, that's the other thing. My daughter has a new cat, adopted a cat, an adult cat from a shelter. But apparently still doesn't like people. Did not come out while we were there. Stayed hidden away. So I was like, oh, well. She's only had it for like a week. We actually took her to the RSPCA to pick one out, which is fun, like seeing the different cats. And this, like, this one's got a bit of a temperament. You're going to have to be patient with it because it gets a bit bitey. And as young cats do, they all just do that. And of course, they also had dogs at the RSPCA. Mind you, they had guinea pigs and rabbits too. But we were in the cat zone, and while she was, they want you to like sit with the cat for quite a while to see what you think and all that sort of. So while my daughter was sitting with a cat, decided to look at the dog side, and that was honestly just depressing because the dogs were either looking at you in a really mournful way, like, I don't want to be here. Or they were just really excited, like the ones that go, oh my God, humans, I like humans. Hey, human, how you going? But in both ways, in different ways, it was like, please take me home. It was like, oh God, this is just fucking depressing. Your camera lens was tipsy on the alcohol fumes. Fair enough. Oh, that's literally what she tried to do, Jude. The cat's favorite treat. Yeah. Didn't work. Didn't come out. Yeah. Shadow doesn't like strangers. Like the number of people who've come to the house and have been here for hours and have never seen Shadow, she just goes to ground when strangers are here. The bunny was adorable. They were. I don't want a bunny or a guinea pig. But yeah, oof. I just found the dog side depressing because the dogs obviously like humans and want a human to take them home. And it's just like, oh, it's too sad because I'm not taking any of you. Okay, weirdly, I think this needs, oh, maybe some saline. Because the I'm now deciding I concentrated the Pasito too much. And it's a little bit bitter. Does saline help? Failing that, I might actually put some agave syrup in there. Ah. I think that does help. A couple of drops of saline. Cats have gotten to the point. Visitors come over, they immediately converge around the cabinet where the treats are kept because of the association. Nice. Had a cat, if she didn't trust the visitor, would sit, keeping them in vision the whole time, keeping eye contact the whole time. Dog also kept them in eye view. Just makes you sound like a witch, Earth W. With the best. That saline. It definitely needs saline. That actually takes the edge off the bitterness. So maybe it doesn't need to be sweetened. I just need to put a couple of drops of saline in it. That's just a really noticeable difference. I absolutely agree, Jude. The animals staring at people sounds very Stephen King. Very suspicious. Animals staring at people. Oh, we've, I think also tasty tastes. Saving this for tomorrow night because I did say I'd wait a week. The apple whiskies. Actual apple slices with brown sugar syrup. And this one is apple peel with sugar. This one looks a bit like poop. People with babies know what I'm talking about. I am actually quite looking forward to tasting those. Don't know how they come out. Birds aren't real. That's true. Bit lost with the Pasito syrup. Oh, did you actually reduce it as well? Yeah. Depending what heat you had it on and how much you reduced it, it might taste a bit burnt, and it's also a little bitter. So I think adding sugar to it is probably a good idea. Like I did that with another thing that I reduced, and it was a fruit drink, and I thought it would be super sweet, and I reduced it right now and I was going, oh, that's a bit sour and whatnot. And so I literally added sugar to it, and it kept the flavor but it's sweeter. So I think maybe add some sugar. Oswin Kitty, bonkers over new clothing. Loves that retail smell. Yeah, damn. Hey, you, Jacob, you're a fellow human staring at you. You're quite wild. I believe it, man. I believe it. I am really looking forward to the apple drinks, quite honestly. Yes, I have heard that conspiracy too, Dr. Abigail. Australia isn't real. Even though the government pays you to stay at home and be Australian. You were binging Star Trek Discovery. Quite good. Oh, well, there are people here with opinions on that. It's the whole thing. Actually, so I meant to put to you, Dr. Abigail, have you watched the Section 31 movie yet? What got put on jukebox? Oh, you haven't done it yet? Yeah, you're talking about picking my face. Yeah. You haven't watched it yet. Okay. When you get a chance, I'm for the obvious reasons very keen to hear your impressions on it. So I'm certainly not going to say anything spoilery. I tell you what we've been watching that we quite enjoy. The new version of Day of the Jackal that's on Foxtel and Binge. 10 one-hour episodes. We've watched the first 9. We've got the final episode to go. Very much enjoying it. And as I think I mentioned On another stream, I've started watching the Canadian comedy Letterkenny, which is funny and rather different and non-naturalistic. Was Derek Jacobi in it? The lead in the 70s Day of the Jackal was Edward Fox. He was the Jackal. You've been playing Project Zomboid multiplayer, nonstop 3 days. Wow, that sounds like fun. Yeah, so Day of the Jackal, 70s. Edward Fox was the Jackal in that. I think I've seen it once so long ago. I don't remember if Derek Jacobi's in it. And then there was the not great, but I honestly didn't hate it. Bruce Willis movie, The Jackal. I'm really fucking enjoying Letterkenny, but it's a really idiosyncratic thing, and it's very non-naturalistic. Part of the rhythm and the humor is the characters all repeating things. And the lead character, Wayne, his physicality is very not natural. Anyone who doesn't like it, I don't blame them at all. Jacob, glad you're not a flat earther. Oh yeah, dude. We need the globe. We need to all be together on this globe. Hey, Heine, would you just come in? Oh, 10 second. My son called me up on Sunday saying he was sick. Could I take him to a doctor? We ended up in emergency. Wasted 8 hours because they did a blood test, which should have taken 1 hour to get the result. And there was nothing seriously wrong with him. But there were some colorful characters. And I told stories about colorful characters. That is, yeah, disability pension, paid actor. You're living the life, Earth. You're doing God's work. You did a quick look. Derek Jacobi wasn't in the film. I'm a bit of a Derek Jacobi fan, actually. I think I first saw him in Caligula in the 70s. Proudly say you've binge watched every episode of The X-Files. Neat. Oh, yeah. I don't know that the seasons without Mulder. It's coming back, isn't it? With Scully and Mulder. We almost have the Earth, Flat Earthers fooled. Thanks, Jacob. I'm glad we're bright here. Yeah, I did. I really liked San Francisco when I was there. I'd love to go back. I'm sure it's completely fucking different to when I was last there. I didn't have to watch the VOD to get colourful character stories. Yeah, there were some colourful characters. Jacob, the coin rate's dropping. Nice. Oh, dude, I would fucking love it. I need to, win lotto or something. Oh, yeah. That was the funniest story. The guy who had steaks and was dripping. And again, I've read the stuff that drips out of red meat you get from the supermarket is technically not blood. And they have actually put some freaking artificial color in there so it looks like blood. Derek Jacobi entertaining alongside Ian McKellen, TV series Vicious, very camp. Well, they're both pretty camp guys. And Jacobi's in the Gladiator movies too. Oh, yes. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to add more sugar to the Pasito syrup. I'll do that tomorrow. Oh, wow. You're just bringing out all the hits, Jude. Cadfael from the 90s. I don't know that one. FW headline in the shovel. Brain aneurysm seeks surgery to have Carl Sandilands removed. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, I mean, that guy, for those who don't know, Carl Sandilands is a vile piece of shit who has a radio show in Sydney. He's fucking garbage. He is just a piece of shit. Yes, he announced this week he has to have emergency brain surgery because he had an aneurysm. And it just reminds me of the saying, It's often wrongly attributed to Mark Twain. Like I looked it up once. A lot of people say it's Mark Twain, but it turns out it isn't. It's someone else. But to paraphrase, it's I don't wish death on anyone, but I would read some obituaries with great satisfaction. Luke, watching Weird Babylon 5 X-Files crossover from the spin-off show Crusade. Okay, I don't know that one. I'm loving the concept of a Babylon 5 X-Files crossover. I've literally never heard that before you just typed that out then. Okay, so you got to get in on Cadfael. Plays a medieval former crusader turned monk who sells crime. Wow! I did see a series on Disney Plus this year, and apparently it's from some very well-known books, and it is like a medieval monk solving murders. From the shovel. The aneurysm said it would feel more comfortable having the procedure performed in Melbourne, a city with a proven record of Sandilands rejection. Yes, he tried to get on radio in Melbourne and no one listened. Oh shit, what's this? Have I got any good ads? Morris of Rutherglen. I think that's a Tasmanian whiskey. And they also make wines. I'm less interested. Oh no, they're a Victorian winemaker and distiller. There you go. I'm just looking at my mail. What's Nick's trying to get me? Redbreast, Irish whiskey, single pot still. $160. Elsewhere, pay $200. They're usually telling the truth. Oh, God damn it. What is this shit? The thing I always do is I look up a price on Dan Murphy's. So it's Redbreast 15-year-old single pot still Irish whiskey. Now they're saying they were selling it for $200 now. I'm not getting this. But I'm always just interested in, are they really selling it that much cheaper? What does Dan's have? Jameson Redbreast 12-year-old for $143. No, that's shit. What is anyone else selling it for? Bourbon Brothers selling it for $180. Oh yeah, people selling it for between. Kogan sell spirits? I thought Kogan just sold electronics. They're selling spirits? But Nick's is selling it cheaper than everyone else. So good to know. Someone remind me, what the fuck was I looking up when I got fucking? Oh yes, the Cadfiel series. Sorry, okay. I got distracted. Disney Plus series monk solving crime. No, I think that's it. Disney Plus fans rave over. Nope, that's not it at all. Medieval Medieval. Shard Lake. That's it. Okay. S-A, it's like sharting your pants. Shardlake. The character's called Shard Lake. It's apparently from some very successful books. And this whole thing. Last comment on Sanderlands. Much simpler theorem is that if it stands a Harnick and his branch. Oof, oof. Hey, Jacob. Link to your free movie site. Don't give Disney money. Don't give billionaires money. Oh, Home for the Elderly has what do you call it? A friggin' Plex site. Okay, in the US, Daily Motion has that. Okay, not a thing that I have here, but you know, there's so many things to watch. Can't keep up with all of them. Yes, yo ho ho, we're all being pirates. A personal private server, yes. Yo ho ho, the pirate's life for me. So we will have the pirate's life. It's a jolly good thing. What ho? Who am I calling a ho? Who knows? Who ho? Ho who? The interesting thing in Shard Lake, apparently the book character Shard Lake as like a hunchback, a physical deformity. The actor, the British actor who plays the character, is apparently a fairly well-known stage actor in England. He has a condition from birth where one of his arms is much shorter than the other. Kind of looks like a child's arm. There's a name for it. And so he's playing this character. So the hunchback the character has is actually not real, but it's kind of like the fact that the guy has a foreshortened arm kind of fits in with the character. Recommend One Corpse Too Many to start. Geez, taken in isolation, that's a really troubling comment. There's another Jackal movie called The Assignment with Aidan Quinn. Okay. Donald Sutherland and Ben Kingsley. Well, that's a fucking cast right there. Got First Life. Freaky looking. Yeah. Well, there's a name for it. So actually, if I look him up, okay, Shard Lake. Guy was a good actor too. Arthur Hughes. British actor. Known for his role as Ryan McDaniel in the Netflix series The Innocents. Does stuff on radio. Bunch of stage performances, including La Cage aux Folles. And Richard III. And again, Richard III is usually played as having a hunched back as well. I think he got particularly good reviews for being Richard III. Filmography, theatre, film. Okay, there's nothing referencing... Which is interesting that the Wikipedia entry chooses not to... Okay, so Arthur Hughes has radial dysplasia. It's a rare condition, affects his right arm. So his right arm is small compared to his left arm. The character Shardleif in the book is described as a hunchback, which we would today call scoliosis. So the actor doesn't have scoliosis, but has radial dysplasia, a shortened right arm. So there you go. Yes, Richard III apparently historically had quite pronounced scoliosis. Luke, you watch all of Babylon 5? You're going to post reviews with insane levels of detail. Nice. Ooh, there's full episodes of that show on YouTube. Nice. Jacob, you wish you were a Russian bear. You're always Russian somewhere. Russian to bed. Good night. Thanks for dropping in and saying hello, Jacob. Love seeing you, man. Ooh, that's an excellent thing, Loogie. For like review type things to do. Top 5 episodes, top story threads, favorite characters, theme the reviews. That's a good idea. I'm a fan of that idea. Okay, so we're going to do things. So hopefully, if I understood your suggestion right, you reckon for the video, I should make the 2 mini ones, one with Blanco tequila, one with Añejo tequila, do the taste test, declare my favorite, and then whack them into the same glass and try that? Because I think that's what you're saying, and I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good thing for a video. Yeah, Babylon 5 fans love the complexity of the story and the politics. Like, not all particularly the lead is not a great actor, but it's like the complexity of the story and the politics gets people in. Yes, okay, I thought that's really, yeah, that's a good idea. I really appreciate your input on that. You're going to bed? I'm going to bed too. Take care, FW. I think that makes it a fun video. If I go, I taste this, I like this better. Oh, well, I'm just going to dump them into one glass, then go mix. Actually, this is better. Okay, so season 4 is your favorite Babylon 5 season? Okay, cool. Yep, got real die-hard fans for Babylon 5. Oh, the tall one's already done. It's edited and scheduled to go up in like early April because I am 2 months ahead with the videos. So I am going to time it. So when I make the video for the old-fashioned version, those 2 videos will go live in the same week. Am I surprising you by how together I am? So yeah. Well, you may remember at one point I was 3 months ahead, but then I really slacked off for a month or so, and now I'm 2 months ahead. So yeah, but the tall one is already edited and scheduled, uploaded and scheduled. So the old-fashioned will go up the same week. First week in April, I think. And so all that stuff. But also, I'm going to do the stuff with Mrs. Angry's Wines tomorrow as well. Reading that label, because the label's so cool. Loogie, best start at the beginning for Babylon 5. Oh, absolutely. The stories are so complex. If you're going to watch Babylon 5, you want to watch from the start. Tool 1 sounds like Stone Series. That's just basically a highball with a passion fruit soft drink in it. When's the Withnell and I vid? Oh, actually, I might be able to check and tell you that. It must be relatively soon. In the next month, anyway. Wait, what YouTube am I logged into here? Where are we? We want... Oh, no. Jesus, I won't... Okay, I won't be able to do that. Am I logged in on this browser? What channel am I logged into on this browser? No, that's super fucking generic. Okay. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is a... Let's just do that. Let's see. All right. What am I logged into on Firefox? I'm determined to find this. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I think I am logged into Angry Cocktails in Firefox. Okay. My videos. I'm just going to do this before going to bed. Campbell character, carrot. All right, so what's coming up next? Blind Pilot, Fosbury Flip, Pisco, Proved Whiskey, Extra Strong, Mad March Days, Last Crest, BB King. One Night in Bangkok is going live on the 14th of March. Speaking of stream videos. Oh, God. What? Oh, the Camberwell Carrot. That's what we want, isn't it? The Camberwell Carrot. Wait, I'm getting fucking confused. The Camberwell Carrot is going live on the 18th of March. So they're 4 days apart. 2 stream videos. One Night in Bangkok is going live on the 14th of March. So what's that, in like 5 weeks? And the Camberwell Carrot, which is the Withnell and I one, is 4 days after that on the 18th of March. I'm glad I finally found that. Yes, share the fuck out of that video. Yeah, back just before Sleepy Bobo's suffer. Can I share that vid like a 20-year-old with $1 bills at a stripper's? Nice. That's what we were like. But yeah, that's like 5 or 6 weeks away. It's like, curse me and my being extra prepared. I didn't go into the city. I didn't go into the office at all this week. I'll be going into the office next week, but I didn't do it this week. Nice. Add it into the calendar. Whew. So, yeah. And so the friggin' Despositos will be in early April. That's good. I have to go in. Like, no matter how hot it is on Monday and Tuesday, I have to go in because I got a new person starting on Monday. So I got to look after them. So, yes, my empire is growing. Jesus Christ, for someone who never wanted to be a boss, as of Monday, I'll have 3 people reporting to me. My team just keeps fucking growing. Thank you for hanging out, Home Theodically. And I kind of think that was a fun revelation when I did do the Blanco tequila and Yoho tequila separately, I do think genuinely it tastes better when they're together. But I am going to add more sugar to the Pasito syrup, and I am going to put some saline in the cocktail when I make it. Mid-April is my birthday. And yes, I agree. Happy birthday for early April. Loogie, have one of them fetch you tacos for no reason. Seriously? They do. My team's really good. The two guys I've got already, they do it. If I said, hey, can you go out and get me a taco? There is actually a Mexican place downstairs. They do it. Yeah, Disposito. It's a bit of a novelty. I'm not being serious. It's definitely not bad. It's not going to go on my favorites list. Whereas that one I made tonight, the short one, I got to put a note next to that when I upload it, like revisit this at the end of the year. This might make the best of the year list. So like of course, the funny thing is, because I'll probably be at least 2 months ahead then. So I'll be planning the best of the year. Although I can do it later and move things around. I think that's actually what I did this year. I think I did the best of in December, and I was 3 months ahead, and I just went back and moved one. But anyway. Yeah, the one I opened the stream with. It's fucking good. I actually haven't had anything from that Mexican place downstairs yet, Safa. The other week I went there, the newest place was an Asian place, and I got some stuff from them. It's actually pretty good. Like, they specialize in banh mi. I actually got a crispy pork on rice thing that was really decadent. Like, really nice pork with lots of, the crispy crackling. Really decadent. Definitely bad for me, but it was good. Oh, I got a text from Mrs. Angry. I think she's gone to bed. So I'm going to go to bed too. So for anyone who's around, see, no, it's not a chain one, I don't think so. I don't think it's Zambero. So anyone who's around, I'll see you tomorrow night for party night. We'll see what happens. Look, I've friggin' cleaned up here. I can just roll onto this bed here and go to sleep. If I get hammered, I don't have to go anywhere. I can just sleep right there because I cleaned the bed off. So you'll take care. And if you're around tomorrow night, I'll see you again. But I'll say bye.
You are totally fucked up!